Alright, I'm going to do my best to get through this video. I keep getting interrupted, so anyway, doing a review on the X-Bull 62cc. The unit number there doesn't even look like it's the same as what what it showed in the This actually was saying 62001, and this is just spam CS001, which is pretty odd. But so anyway, been a great saw, cuts great. I would recommend completely different chains. These are cheap, they cut great at first, but they don't hold on. Your chain brake has been working. One major issue is the exhaust. It's ported right out the front here, and if you're cutting into any big timber, that will actually start your bark on fire. It's not really something you want to be dealing with up in the mountains during the dry season. Plastics are a little cheap. They're definitely not high quality like your more expensive saws, but it's a $120 saw. Handle's pretty great. I wish they would have angled it a little bit better instead of having just a straightforward grip. And all the plastics here, you can tell it's pretty poor finish, but it works. Everything else works. I can get through about 40 cuts on average, the wood being 16 to 18 inches wide. And this is the other major issue. This filter does not stop anything from going in there. Like I said, I've done a ton of cutting, and this is all this filter has gotten me. That's all it's captured. Look on the inside, it's completely covered in sawdust. Look inside the carb here, it has gunk all over. So I do not expect this saw to run very long. Sure, if somebody was only cutting every now and then, and just a couple trees here and there, it'd probably last you a couple years. For as much cutting as I need to do, I don't expect this saw to last through the summer. I'll be surprised if it cuts all the wood that I have out there right now. Other than that, those are my biggest issues, are those two things. It's got a decent switch on-off switch on it. That's probably one of the more admirable portions of it. The grip, the rubber on it is nice. Can't take away from that, but like I said, I wish they would have just angled that a little more off to one side so it felt more natural in the hand. Overall, pretty decent design. It is a little loud for a saw. And they want a 25-to-1 fuel mixture. I ran that and it actually seemed a little underpowered. I ran a 30-to-1. Yeah, I ran 30-to-1 with synthetic oil, and it actually did a lot better. But like I said, I don't really expect this saw to hold on, just for the main fact that that air filter is garbage, and I don't know if I like that exhaust, the way that it ports out. Other than that, I'd say all in all, it works pretty good. See if I can get a video of it starting. I have to actually I'll have to start with one hand. I don't have the luxury choke. It's got this weird spring. Now that it's fired, push it in. So overall, I'd say decent saw. Hey, buddy. Easy to start, but there's a few things they should probably address on it if they want their saws to last and keep their name decent. Aside from those two biggest issues, when it's cutting, it cuts great. When you got a nice sharp chain on there, you can bury that blade, cut anything over 20 inches, and then go on the other side. It doesn't seem to have really hardly any issue. I do recommend cleaning the inside here where your clutch and everything's at. When it gets dirty, it wants to let that chain slip a little bit. But other than that, I can't complain. The chain tensioner keeps the chain tight. Obviously, these cheaper ones, they get a little stretch in them. But I don't know if you can see that, but they've actually got some pretty aggressive angles on them, and I think some of them ended up bent from cutting these teeth here. And I think because of that, it's not cutting a very smooth cut anymore. But overall, for $120 saw, can't complain. I do recommend to X-Bull to at least fix their exhaust so it doesn't catch fire. In the dry season up in the hills, that's not a good thing. And the air filter, get something on there that actually stops the sawdust, because that's going to make your motor fail prematurely. That is, for longevity wise, if you're just cutting things at home, the exhaust isn't a big deal. But that filter, hands down, will be the death of this saw. Aside from that, I think my idle issues are probably coming from the fact that I've got a lot